I'm here tonight because I had an idea of a Twitter application just a few weeks ago, and that's what I wanted to present to you. It's called listtt.com. It's a terrible name, but we didn't have time to think a lot about the name. And actually, what we would like also to present to you is the fact that we get from the idea to Mashable.com, website you probably know in the social media space. We just did that in 24 hours. So I first tweet there, I got a good idea, I need to do it, to get it straight away, and then the first articles, yeah, in 24 hours. So first the idea. Who doesn't know Twitter list? Cool. That's gonna help. So you see, Twitter list is something really new on Twitter. It's really great. It's a way for people to create lists of interesting people, and those lists are mainly public. So here you've got Robert Scoble. So here you've got a list with Twitter tools and developers. So that's great. That list is at the moment gathering the feed of 360 people. So it's cool, but it's really overwhelming. It's difficult to keep up. If you subscribe to that list, I mean, I follow less than 360 people, so how can I follow at the same time that list? It's not possible. So it's basically trying to follow that list will be a waste of time for me. Which is a shame because actually those people have probably something interesting to say. For example, in my case, it would be interesting to know what they have to say about Twitter list or geolocation, for example. Here you've got the New York Times, the staff of the New York Times, also very interesting if you want to have really real-time news. But here again, sometimes you may have an editor saying like, oh, I'm having a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Who cares? But I would love to know what they're saying if they say something breaking or about Obama, for example. So the idea came to me and said like, oh, but what we need is a kind of Google alert. So who knows what Google alert is? Okay, everybody knows. So basically, whenever your keyword you enter is appearing on a web page on the internet, then it sends you an email to say like, hey, you should check this out. So here, same thing. That's the thing we should need to address this need. We should need a tool like Google Alerts who will just scan always those lists, and whenever a keyword of my choice is appearing, will send me an email and say, hey, don't miss this. And so that's exactly what I wanted to do. So a Google Alert based on Twitter list. So from the idea, so I got the idea and I wanted to make that happen and really quickly because it was simple. The Twitter lists were just rolled out like a week before. And so what we talk a lot about in the startups world is about all the agile concept and how can we, we need to release really early and release often. It's really like the mantra for web application. And so the most difficult thing actually is to realize what's good enough. Because when you have an idea of an application, we always think about a lot of feature, great feature that's going to be so cool, and then you start developing, and then you add another feature, and you add another feature, and then you have to start debugging, and then it's not possible to debug anymore because there are too much feature, and your product is never out there. So defining what's good enough. To do that, a good tool is to find what's your UVP, which is a unique value proposition. What's something really different about my application that no one else is doing? And so I'm going to focus on that. And in my case was doing just an email alert when a keyword appears in a Twitter list. And I will try throughout the development to focus on that. And so what's good enough is trying to also say like, okay, what I'm not going to do. Everything that is outside my unique value proposition, I don't have to care much about it, I mean, on day one. Maybe in the future, but so right now, for example, no sign up, no dashboard, no Ajax, no list spell checking, no designer. Okay? I mean, people are not going to use my tool because they have all those kind of stuff. They might be cool to have. I will probably add them in the future, but not right now. The other idea is to do what I call reverse programming. I don't know if it's correct, whatever. The idea is to start with the end. We used to develop application like thinking of the back office to the back end infrastructure, whatever, then starting developing and then ending with the user interface. But here, no, the idea here is really to first start with the user interface. Because if you start by the backend, for example, you will more than probably develop feature and stuff that will never gonna be used. So if you really want to optimize your time, better start with the user interface. That way, everything that you're gonna develop is gonna be a direct consequence of what the user really needs. So in this case, so email alert when a keyword appears in the Twitter list, what's needed? We get email, we get keyword, we get Twitter list. So I got three things. That's gonna be the only three things I'm gonna ask the user. So that was basically my first. I started with that, just doing this simple homepage, asking those simple three things, and then create the alert. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. And here is the way it looks like in your email. So first starting to develop what's going to be the interface for the end user so that I know exactly what's really needed. So more for the, I don't know if there are many developers here, but just for information, the middle office, like a middle office, was I did that quickly with PHP on top of CodingNighter, which is a framework. And then the back office, PHP running on in the console with MySQL, cron job, and Dreamhost. Then here, that's the moment you have to say, what? Dreamhost, are you nuts? Yeah, the good thing is that it was really cheap. It was not in my unique value proposition. People who are going to use my service just don't care about whether I'm on Dreamhost or whatever. And really, I was really surprised, but it kept up the charge of Scovelizer, Mashable, and TechCrunch. I was really, really impressed by that. But after all this, it broke. So I had to change, but just a week after. So that's the lesson here, is that at the beginning I didn't want to focus my attention on that, and it was okay, it was all fine. But then at the moment I had to change, but it's okay, you know. Once you release it, then you have more time to focus on those other things. So now I'm on leader.com, which is really cool, which is more scalable, elastic for the people who know that. Okay, then I did those development, and I did some alpha tests for a few hours with some very early adopters. And then, yeah, I launched the product, and I did a lot of marketing. I hired a full list of PR agencies. So basically, I just sent one tweet to Scovelizer saying, hey, I just released a new easy way to absorb Twitter list. So Google Alerts means Twitter list. And then he kindly answer, oh, cool, just released the list, blah, 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 whatever. So, so that was cool because after that, then the next wave was the first to create an article. But that time, I still didn't have a logo. So, you know, they just pick up the thing, the font was not rendering properly on their computer, whatever. The news was there. Then Mashable did also an article. So that was really cool. Today, so that was only 24 hours, but then after that, I wanted to improve a bit the service, so I did a new homepage. Yeah, it looks like that. So if you go on listp.com, that's the way it's gonna be. So still as easy. You enter a name of a Twitter list, you enter the keywords that you wanna watch, and your email address. You create the alert and done. So you're gonna get whenever someone in the list to select it. So that may be very cool, for example, for doing like if you wanna follow, for example, your competitor. You don't want to get an alert of whenever a random person on Twitter is talking about a competitor. But you may be interested to be alerted when someone influential in your industry is talking about your competitor, for example, or about whatever product. So there are plenty of different